right, we are up. This is the Hour Town with Troy By, and today is going to be fun. I'm trying not to use the same words. I think sometimes we say things, we don't mean them, or if we do mean them, we probably just think a little harder on a word that maybe you don't use that often. Like, I'm excited. We're always excited. So let me really think about this and say, today's going to be fun. It's going to be different because my guest is the first singer-songwriter that I've had. And I'll mention his name and introduce him in a second. But if you could continue to like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, rate the show, do those things. Hit the notification bell on the YouTube side. You're going to see a lot more clips coming, both on the Instagram side and the Facebook side, YouTube Shorts, because I was chatting a little bit with my guest. I'm going back through a lot of the old footage and old shows where there's just some great content. And now that the show is more popular, it's becoming more known. Most people probably had no idea unless they've gone back through. At least on the social media side, they had no idea that certain guests were on. So I'm trying to, you'll see a ton more clips, probably like one a day, if not two a day.
Right on.
Because it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back, and I've talked to so many good people. Now, Tim Knecht joins us today, again, singer-songwriter. And I'm just going to do a short bio based on what I do know about you. And then we'll go from there. And we have pictures, of course. So if you're watching this, you'll be able to see the pictures that I'm going to reference. But when we do come to the pictures, let's try to remember to do a good job and explain to those who are just listening what picture we're looking at, because there's some good ones. But so Tim Knecht is originally from California.
Yes, sir.
Is it Susanville?
Susanville.
Which was renamed from, is it Roop? It used to be Roop Town. Did you know that?
I think back in the day, I remember hearing something about that.
He was the first governor, if you will, of the Nevada Territory, Isaac Roop. And then I guess in memory of his daughter, I didn't get the full research to know if like she passed away or something happened to her, but they changed it to Susanville. So you spent some other years in California and other areas, but Susanville is kind of where I think you spent most of your time.
Yeah, I moved there when I started 6th grade. I was born in Sacramento. We lived in Roseville. We shot up to the kind of Lassen County, Plumas County area, northeastern. Lived in Almanor, Standish, Janesville, Susanville. Went back to the Sacramento area. Lived in Elk Grove, and and then I just kind of been between. My parents are split, so I live growing up just like weeks with dad, weeks with mom, or summers with dad, and that kind of thing. So we traveled over like Donner Pass on 80 a lot.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point you decide, like around 25 years old, and there's a lot we're going to go back and revisit. Where at 25, you're like, hey, I'm going to get a van and pursue my passion of music and drive the country, I believe, right?
Yes.
Go to Wyoming and other places. And then eventually you're now here in Alabama because your parents, I think, right?
Yes,
are here in
sir.
Alabama,
Yeah.
right? And you're now recently married.
Mm-hmm.
And so some good stuff going on. But, and I say this probably to every guest. It's like, where do you start? But let's just start with the gig you had last night. Okay, so last night you played at the Furniture Factory?
Yes, sir. Over in the Providence area.
Okay. And so how many people showed up? Was it a good
There's
show?
like 3,000, man. It was crazy, I was crowd surfing and all that. No, it was pretty empty when I got there, but it was a Women's World Cup night, so they wanted music for like they were doing indoor sports thing. There was like 4 people outside when I started, and I started at 7. But then the music draws them in. Like that's the goal, is to try to create. What I'm realizing more and more is like I'm creating an environment for people. Like I'm trying to draw people in. And so it's learning. I used to be in the beginning, I used to play only originals. And they were just dark and, none of them, nothing was really refined yet. There were some good songs, but only did originals.
This episode is brought to you by TPG. TPG is the founder of the quality assurance industry. and most known for the tagline, "This call may be monitored for quality assurance," which they brought to the call center market more than 26 years ago. They dominate the market with an internationally recognized client base of Fortune 500 brands. They have created the quality standards used by their clients and have defined 307 attributes that they measure to define a great conversation, including complex concepts such as skills associated with empathizing and rapport building with customers. For more information on TPG, visit them at tpginc.com.
Then it was, okay, I'll do covers, but I only do the ones I like.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's getting to the point of humility and being like, what do you guys want to hear? Because I think that's how having that servant's heart really helps. I don't know, foster love in an environment kind of thing. Because it makes me now joyous to be like, if they're like, play some Earl Haggard, you got it. Which one? Big City, you want Mama Tried, like it.
Yeah.
And if they don't know it, and I tell them, and I really do try to do this, like I add it to the endless list of songs I got to learn. Like, and I always need to be broadening my horizons and staying current. Like I don't think, I absolutely do have a niche. Like my songwriting is what it is. Like I don't try to pander to whatever's mainstream in a sense, or
you do what you want to do.
Yeah, so I have that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone hires me for a gig last night, I need to be mindful of that. Like they're trying to sell drinks and food. Like, so I need to play songs that draw people in. Like people don't know who Tim Knecht is or that I have 15 albums or write poet. You know what I mean? Like they don't really care either. So it's like bringing people in. They want to hear Last Dance with Mary Jane. And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have the ability to provide that. And how I have to look at it at the end of the day, my buddy Tony, he said this too. He's like, I know you get tired of playing like Folsom Prison Blues and stuff, but would you rather do that or roofing? And don't get me wrong, I love physical labor. Like my favorite jobs have been physical labor jobs, but I love music more. I do. By the grace of God, I'm good at it, and I'm always needing to learn. You know, I'm always trying to grow. There's things I need to sharpen on, and it never ends this side of heaven kind of thing. But
it's like
I'm blessed to be in the circumstance that I'm in.
I think I've heard that interview over and over with certain bands where, you know, if a song made them popular and they go on the road, people are going to want to hear that song.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of, I think there's some artists who based on what you just said, they're going to play that song every time they go anywhere because it's all about the fans, and the fans help them to get where they're supposed to be, or, you know, where they got in life. And they're going to play it. If they asked us to play it 1,000 times, we'll play it 1,000 times. And then you have some artists, I'm sure, that more visibly tire of doing that or won't include it in the set at all, or ignore the audience when they're asking for it. You know.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely a balance because it's a balance. Everything's a balance. Like you need to have that servant's heart, but then you don't want to give to the ways of the world just to stay in the limelight or lose. What's a profit, man, to gain the whole world but lose his soul, kind of thing. Like that applies to anything. And so there's songs I won't do. Just, I mean, don't feel the need to name them, but there's some content where I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, it's just, sorry, I have standards or moral obligations that are higher than this bar room right now, kind of thing.
Sure.
But
so going into last night, what was the set that you had planned? And a little bit of what you just said, I'm assuming you do more covers at the beginning. Is something you've learned to kind of draw people in. Hey, this guy's good. Oh, wow, I love that song, and he covers that well. I'll see that on the comments on some of your, you know, the stuff you're doing on YouTube on the cover side. The Timothy Knecht is your YouTube covers channel, and then Tim Knecht is your originals channel.
Yeah,
and it's got to, even if it's not your original song, it has to make you feel good when somebody makes a comment along the lines of, this is the best cover I've ever heard.
Oh, absolutely. It
right?
means the world. Yeah. Especially for artists I really enjoy. Like there's some, and views don't really mean anything to an extent. Like there's still some that people are like, this is the greatest thing I've heard. I'm like, God. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'll be honest with myself about certain things. And, but it does feel good to like, I really like older country, like Marty Robbins and like David Allan Coe and just kind of those older guys. And I try to cover songs that people don't usually do sometimes because I feel like there's enough wagon wheel covers or that certain thing. But just kind of like deep tracks. That's why I really enjoy the YouTube side because I know there's people like me. They may not be in front of me all the time, but they like those songs.
Mm-hmm.
And like one I'm probably most proud of is it's a Chris Ledoux song. It's called Paint Me Back Home in Wyoming. And there wasn't a cover of that. Like that's a cool feeling to be like, I know other people might cover it, but to have the only YouTube video cover of that and then a little reference for people to go to, because then sometimes people will come to me like, dude, how do you play this? Like, can you help me out here? Like, what are you doing here? And just being able to step by step kind of help other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's, and now I'm rabbit trailing again, the labor of love for this, because that's what I have to tell my wife and parents too. It's like, I'm not doing this to get rich. Like I tell my wife, you can have all the money. Like I just like playing music and you can do whatever you want within means. Don't put us in debt kind of thing. But but I don't really care. It's like, I don't eat a lot for the most part. I like bananas and apples and coffee and I can live off of bar food. I shouldn't, but and I just like playing music and it feels it's like in that Alan Jackson song Chasing That Neon Rainbow. It's like when the crowds didn't do it, Lord, it makes this thing I'm doing feel right. And I've seen the power music has on people, and I know what it's done for me, even in my darkest times. So to be a conduit for that, it's like ministering to people, like, because I struggled with really, I'm like, okay, I can only do this, and I can only be a worship pastor. Like if I want to do music and I'm a Christian, like anything else is sinful. I'm reading Jerry Lee Lewis's book right now. Him and Elvis struggled with the same thing. They were Assembly of God, Pentecostal kind of stuff, and everyone told them, you're playing the devil's music. You're pandering to the world. And they're like, no, I don't agree with that. I think that there's different people for different circumstances in the world, and not everyone's a preacher. Yeah. Not everyone. Some people are police officers. Some people were meant to be police officers or carpenters or woodworkers or EMTs. And that's when it talks about the body, like many pieces, one body kind of thing. Like, but now we're able to go into circumstances and then try and be salt of the earth wherever we're at. And we may get into places that other people don't and be able to shine that light in those circumstances where it may be dark. And it's the most exciting, fun thing in the world. Like life is a trip. I used to struggle really bad with depression until like a lot of my songs in the beginning are just just this, like, because I feel like you're my 20s and just growing up high school, it's so hard to like figure out what's going on. Like, what is existing? Like, what is this? And then I think in time you get stronger. Like things just don't phase you as much as they used to. Like not that I have to get gas is the end of the world, or that so-and-so said this about me. It's just, I don't know. Time makes you stronger. I guess our roots just grow deeper and our bark gets tougher. But
yeah, the experiences that you learn from, the wisdom you gain, the perspective, right? I know, like personally, I used to be this pleaser. Like I didn't want you ever to say something negative about me, or I would do anything where you wouldn't like me, and it would really, really bother me if I felt like, oh man, this guy doesn't like me, I wonder if I said something wrong. How do I fix this? How to repair it? And then later in life, you just kind of learn, like, hey, it's not necessarily about just that one interaction. There could be a lot of other things going on in that person's life. Don't take it personally. Yeah. Don't take everything personally, that type of thing. And that's helped a lot. But man, like my younger self, I would just agonize.
I was volatile. Kind of stuff, I mean, I remember just praying to die. Like just being everything's fine. I'm healthy. I have money. Like just.
Was this like in your after you're being in your teenage years? You're talking like early
like
20s?
Teenage years, or 25, probably like 20. It probably wasn't until year and a half, 2 years. Like I literally enjoy life now. It's exciting to be a part of this because like once you know that and I'm sorry, I know this isn't a Christian podcast or something, but it's like it's hard to like speak out of things not from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Because it shapes. It's like I know that he's got me. He's got a plan from beginning to end. He's going to be with me every step of the way. He promises he's never going to forsake me. He says, many are the plans in man's heart, but the Lord directs his steps. Like, he already knows. If I can lean on that daily, I should be at peace. That's why I said, be careful that no one steals your joy. Like, don't be weighed down with the anxieties of this world. Like, there's something far greater going on here that is beyond my music, your podcast. This is just what we do.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is just our job. And I have to realize that too, because I can almost get idolatrous in a sense. I love playing music. I do. You know what I mean? But I have to realize where it came from. I can't be practicing and not going to church. I can't. There's just all this balance kind of thing. And I have to remember too, because I get fearful of it. Like, what if I can't play music? I used to say, I'm going to kill myself if I can't play music. Now it's like, no. Like, if he decides that, what about Job? Mm-hmm. Everything was taken from him. And did he curse God? No. He's just like, why? Like, but it's not for us to ask why. It's just we need to submit ourselves and realize we're not in charge.
Yeah.
And just go with it. And just, yeah.
So let's step back, because I kind of want to key in on that part of your life where things were not going well. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I might even be able to read from your blog.
Cool.
Pull up your website. Does your wife help you with your website, or do you do it?
I do it.
You do it. Yeah, you do a good job, and you're keeping up with it. It's current. Let's take a look at that real quick, and then I'll dive into the point I was going to make. Where is it?
I like this little blues photo you got here too.
Yeah, my daughter drew that at the Pinois Palette or whatever in Huntsville.
It's very cool. I like it.
Like, you go in there, and I guess I showed on the camera. I've never actually really talked about it, but it's like, it's like, let's say you and your wife want to go do cooking class, and there's like 8 or 9 other couples. And,
yeah.
I actually done that with my wife. She went with a friend, and it was, learn how to paint night, or I guess it's painting all the time, but it's a different style, right?
I think I'd like to do that. I think my wife would get a kick out of that.
Yeah, Pinois. I think it was like Pinois palette, something like that.
We just did the. It's over in Mid City. You pick a piece of pottery and paint on it. And they glaze it.
Yeah. So the same type of thing.
Yeah, it is fun. A little date night.
Let's see here. This is the stuff I'll edit out.
Oh, for sure.
Where I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. Hold on 1 second. I wonder if it came from your. Oh, I know where it came from. Here, I think it's this. All right, yeah, here we go. I'm gonna actually, I think I have this in still shot too. Okay, so I want to bring up this from your testimony section of your website. Mm-hmm. And I have this one paragraph in particular that I'd like to. This is the beginning of this longer, but I just took out this one paragraph. Okay, so it says, okay, so this is going to sound crazy, but I have to tell you guys what happened to me. I was super lost, like hitchhiking around California, doing drugs, sleeping on beaches, and eating out of trash cans. Lost. I was living for myself, and I ended up overdosing on prescription drugs, going to jail, destroying my relationship with my family, and breaking a lot of hearts along the way. I was turning to everything and anything to find peace, but nothing was giving it to me anymore. Not the music I was writing, the places I traveled, partying. It was all empty. Then one night, I did too much, and I cried out to God, and it hit me like a bolt of lightning. You can't do this on your own. This is the second time. There won't be a third. Now, the next paragraph goes on to talk about how somebody encountered you, and you played, remind me, oh man, I don't have it in front of me, the song you played from John Lennon.
Oh, Imagine.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Can you play that now? Do you mind playing that?
I don't play that one anymore.
Oh, you don't play it anymore?
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine. But I wanted to kind of set the stage a little bit of what you were kind of just talking about, right? That led you to become a believer. That's helped shape your life.
Yeah.
Helped you probably control somewhat of the balance of having music in your life, but having to take care of other things, right? Just all the stuff where you're probably working on you. Mm-hmm. But talk a little bit about that time. So you didn't finish. You finished high school later, right? Like you had dropped out of high school and get a high school diploma later on.
Yeah. So I turned 18, and I was leading up to this. I mean, sneaking out of the house and fighting with my parents all the time, and just kind of continually going downhill, sort of thing. Well, I turned 18, and then that was it. Like, and it got to a point like my mom would still like come to parties and try and get me. I'm like, I'm 18. Like my stepdad had to tell her like he's an adult, like, according to law, you know. And so they kind of let that go. But then I was like, what am I doing? I'm fighting with these people all the time who love me. You know what I mean? And so I ended up moving out with a buddy and taking my stuff. And I was sleeping on his floor for, I can't remember, a few months and stuff. And at that point, I mean, it just was like,
was he
just going
charging?
down.
Was he charging you rent?
Oh no, I did dishes for rent. Like I played music for rent. His
Yeah.
dad liked my songs and stuff. And God bless him. I mean, he directed and guided me too. I really appreciate him for taking me, because otherwise, I would have just slept on the streets or whatever and just kind of kept couch surfing. He at least gave me a spot where my mom too, I think, at least she knew where I was.
What's his name? Ryan?
No, this is Mark Thomas. I was there with Pat.
Okay.
And then Ryan was around though. And then so I was there, and then what got into it? Ryan and I, our goal was after high school, we were going to hop trains and just play music. Like,
Really?
we loved the old blues, just that Robert Johnson kind of troubadour. And I still consider myself a troubadour. Like, I like to travel, the whole 6-string hobo thing. Like, I go where people want to hear music. Like, it is my job. So I move around and I play music for people. Like, I got to be a little stationary now because I have a wife, you know, and I need to take care of her. But we still move around. But yeah, I was there, and then got there is and it's the quote that's on my website too. I think I watched "Be Here to Love Me." It was it's a Townes Van Zandt. He's a folk singer, probably one of the greatest songwriters to ever be on earth.
He didn't live very long. He only lived 52 years.
Yeah, he was rough on himself. But there's a quote. It's like someone asked him, "Is like, how do you become a Texas songwriter legend or something like that?" He's like, you have to forsake everything, like happiness, money, family, friends, get a guitar and go, kind of thing. I'm like, well, I can do that. And so
there's that quote at the bottom left.
Yeah.
Get a guitar and go, from Townes Van Zandt.
Yeah. But I'll say this now, my motives weren't right. It was very selfish. Like just burning every bridge I could along the way just to do what I want, kind of thing. And now it's like, I mean, I'm able to pay my bills with music. There's a balance there. It's like I'm sober now by the grace of God, and there's a way to do things right, is what I'm getting at. I guess you can do anything and do it. It's all about your heart.
Yeah.
And
who was nagging you? I'm gonna use the word nagging along the way to be like, you're being selfish, Tim.
Oh, literally everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah, but you have to be careful too. Like, you can surround yourself with people that pander to you.
Yeah. Like,
it's a proverb also, like, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiplies kisses. And I always remember that. And it's so true. Like, we do, and I just posted something on Facebook. I love Facebook.
Yeah.
About you need to have people in your circle that are telling you when you're screwing up.
Yeah.
And I at least know.
But you didn't realize that at the time.
Oh, I thought everyone was just trying to bring me down. I had no moral base either. Like, so I was into Satanism and Taoism and Buddhism and every ism there was, and just I didn't have any. I was searching so hard because I couldn't find. And then I get to the point where I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I'm alive. I'm just gonna do what I want until I'm dead, kind of thing.
Right.
And then. So then I just started going wild. Like, I was like, well, whatever, it feels good, you know? And then that night, I think we were mixing, it was like Molly, cocaine, and ketamine into like a bump. And it was, I don't know, there was just darkness. That's the only way I can describe what was going on. Like, I was knocking on the door of hell. like it. And then that's when I said, like, he came and contacted me, like the Lord. And then I was like, no, you're just high, blah, 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 blowing it off. And then that's when that whole Imagine thing happened. I'm like, no, someone's like, and this happened to me before when I came out of jail. Like, it's these weird synchronicities. Like, this is what my grandpa told me, what I know the Bible teaches. If you're his, he's going to get you. He paid a price through the blood of Christ for you. There's no way around it. You're purchased. You can destroy your life and do whatever you want, but you're going, kind of thing. Like, and those that they talk about the perseverance of the saints and stuff, like, we can't, it talks about John 2, like those that, I know when I'm doing wrong. Yeah. I may have a season of where I'm stumbling, and I still do. Like, don't let my words and my Bible quotes and all that stuff not make it seem like I don't struggle. I was struggling yesterday. I struggle today. Like but it's at least a place in a rock where I can come back to, lick my wounds in his grace, and he never drives me away. He's always looking for that one that left the 99 kind of thing. And that's what keeps me going. It's his grace. Like, he literally loves me. So that's what fuels my life, because now I want to show this love, whether it be through music or just having a listening ear with my mom when she comes home at the end of her day and had a stressful day. You know what I mean? It just we're meant to be love. And how we decide to do that in life, whether it be making pizzas or having a podcast or whatever, let's just do that to the best of our ability until he comes and gets us or calls us home, kind of thing. So that's just kind of, I'm trying to keep it so simple, like, because me and my wife will get stressed about things. I'm like, we got to keep Christ the center of our marriage. And now I feel convicted right now because we've been struggling on our Bible reading at night. You know what I mean? But keep each other first and foremost, you know, our marriage above everything else, and then work hard at whatever we're doing and love those around us. Like,
you know, I'd imagine, I was mentioning the word nagging, but I would imagine you learn a lot about God just through people around you, like your parents, the unconditional love, right? And you went to jail, you were on drugs, yet, you know, they're never going to stop loving you. They shouldn't. There are parents there are people out there that make very bad choices. But by and large, most parents of children love them, continue to do everything they can for them, particularly mothers, right, over fathers, like just give anything for their children. Yeah. And I'm assuming that's been a process too for you, right? As you've gotten older, to kind of realize, oh my gosh, man, they've been there the whole time. Yeah. I think you mentioned it before. They've been there the whole time. And loving me. What am I pushing back on?
And it's funny too, because like, I'm sorry, I think in like quotes and lyrics a lot because my head's just so full of them. Yeah. But
there's going to be a song in there somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
it is a song.
Whether you've written it or not.
It's Tyler Childers. It's this song, Keep Your Nose on the Grindstone. And basically it's the effect of remember, son, a man's only good as his word, and it takes twice as long to build bridges you burned. And there are wounds in life that even time cannot heal, like keep your nose on the grindstone kind of thing. And then there's still things that I've done that people bring up. Like, there's still that edge. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though we're forgiven for things, there's still consequences and lasting ripples. You know what I mean? Like, you may have a scar.
Forgive and forget.
Yeah, your wound will heal, but there's a scar kind of thing. Like, and it still, I mean, it could get my parents worked up if we talk about old Timmy too much kind of thing. So, and my wife will still, because she knows my full story. Yeah. So she knows my triggers at times and stuff, and like, so she can be concerned about certain things. And it comes with the choices we make. Yeah. You know?
Let's do this. I'm going to quickly touch on the fact that you started in like death metal, Pantera, and others,
the good
of music that you liked. And I guess your mind was in that space. And then later, of course, your music is more folk, country, blues, single, kind of like a James Taylor, and others. I don't want to, anybody who's just kind of a man into guitar. I think actually a lot of your songs and your voice is a lot like James Taylor.
I get that a lot,
which is kind of cool. If you're ever going to do some covers, but let me ask, could you play a song now that just maybe, and I don't know if it's going to be your favorite, but just really puts you in a good headspace?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just something that maybe I don't know if you and maybe describe why you chose that. If there's something ever you do to kind of cheer yourself up, like you
Say
just
here.
said, it's like, for example, if someone's an alcoholic, they're always going to be an alcoholic, like their whole life. Whatever you struggle with every day, you can have an amazing day, and then the next day you wake up and you're right back to working on, not succumbing.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of guests where we've talked about that. Doesn't matter what the addiction is. So again, you've had a little bit of a period of your life that was a little bit checkered, right? And you've had to bring yourself up. But yeah, what is that song that you could play that really brings, what you need as far as your own comfort and happiness?
It's probably the song I Can't Win. I played it before on another little interview thing, but I like it.
Okay. Is this original?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm in the right. Not juicy. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Nothing I do seems to bring me peace. Wish I can escape from this reality. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep moving along, living in a world of sin. The sickness gnawing on my soul, it makes me wanna crawl and die in a hole. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep moving along, living in a world of sin. Come on now. Yeah, baby. I'll get lonely, so I'll find a babe. She'll get too close and I'll push her away. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep grooving along, living in a world of sin. She'll give me her heart, but I'll give it back. 'Cause when I'm tied down, I start feeling trapped. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep grooving along, living in a world of sin. One more time. Yeah. I'm self-destructive, prone to misbehave, and I'll be that way until I'm in my grave. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep stumbling along, living in a world of sin. When I get to heaven, I know I'll forget all of my sorrow, but I ain't there yet. I can't win. No, I can't win. I keep stumbling along, living in a world of sin. Can't win, y'all.
Awesome. Man, that's good.
Thank you.
I
think
love that.
I know it's complainy and darkish, but it's like we're gonna go through this in this life, and then when I get to heaven, I know I'll forget all my sorrow, but I ain't there yet. It's just like we're here for a while, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So don't. I think it's funny when people try to like deny that bad things happen or that everything is gravy all the time, because it's not. Like we have an amazing promise that is awesome, but there's terrible things that, I mean, shouldn't even be mentioned, but that are dark. Like there's a lot of things that are, and I think that, I don't know, I have songs too that are, they kind of paint that picture also, and I used to feel bad about it, but I don't know, I feel like you have to be honest too with certain things, and I mean, they're not something I'll play out at a gig, but you never know who I don't know.
Well, does it also help you to know that just about any artist is going to go through, again, using that word, kind of evolution
Yeah.
and evolve into who they are, right? Their music when they first started is going to be very different. Now, that could be, in some cases, just a strain. You know, if you look at Metallica or some of these heavy metal bands, right? As they get older, it's kind of hard to be able to sing at certain notes. So you got to change your
Yeah.
style a little bit. But I'm sure there's plenty of artists who will talk about, you know, how just their life experience. Now you're married.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how you look back in your life. Let's say when you're 60 years old, at the songs that you write,
Yeah.
or you know, maybe musical interests that have changed now just because of your experience with Katie, right? That's your wife.
Yeah. Love you, baby.
So let's a few things. One, that guitar, the guitar you brought and that you're playing with. How many guitars do you rotate through?
I've been playing this. This is this $300 nylon.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up buying a nylon. I play guitar a lot. My fingers were getting eaten up by the steel.
Really?
Like, I played, I mean, just too much. I probably shouldn't be playing as much as I do. But I love practicing. I love playing. So it's like,
Sure.
I'll practice 6 hours sometimes and then go and try and play a 3-4 hour gig. And then there are physical limitations. Like you have to stretch. One time I like messed up. Started getting like tennis elbow or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but really wears out more than anything is my voice. Like I have to, if I'm practicing, like lower it, that kind of thing. But yeah, I got this everyone gets on me about my guitar sometimes. They're like, oh, it's twangy and blah, blah. I like it. I like how it feels. Plugged in, I can turn the bass up on that thing, and it's like, wow. Like,
yeah.
It's just a fun sound, and it's fun to play, and I don't break strings on these nylons. I would go through, sometimes I was breaking 1 or 2 strings a gig, and people can say, like, okay, I've been playing 10 years. Like, I get good strings. I check on the nut in the saddle if there's any burrs that are possibly abrasive to the string and that kind of thing. But it's just, and it's probably how I play because I beat on it, you know, but I beat on these nylons and they don't break.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just the material or something, but.
So then this, like going back to this original artwork that we had shown that was for the Voodoo Lounge last month.
Yeah.
Is that your main guitar that you take?
Yeah, that's Brielle. My dad got me that when I was a junior in high school, and he was like, "If you get straight A's, I'll get you that." And I ended up having like a B, and he still got it to me. Love you, Dad. And then that one I've played so much that the metal, the frets, that's in my car right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because I brought 2 just in case I broke a string or something. But the frets are worn down, so it's not in tune anymore, just from overuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I love steel string. I do. I mean, it's a different feel. I'm in this phase of nylon, and it works for me because how much I play. My fingers don't hurt as much. Like it used to be painful.
Really?
Like playing a steel that much. And I first noticed it in Wyoming because I started playing on the streets a lot, and then doing like little 3-hour stints on Jackson Square, and then just doing that, and then practicing all day, and then trying to do gigs on the weekend. It's just like it. I mean, hey, you got stronger fingers than me. That's cool, but you know,
yeah.
I play nylon, so.
But do you only pull out? You said Brielle?
Brielle. Yeah, it's from a what is that? Sky Sailing song. I'm a big Owl City fan. Adam
Oh
Young.
yeah.
So he had a little side project called Sky Sailing, and there's a song called Brielle, which is pretty.
I like Owl City.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
I love Owl City. Yeah, I like his early stuff a lot.
Yeah. So then is that it? You have the 2, or do you have a third guitar that you will bust out?
I got Charlie too. He's another nylon. He was like $200. I like cheap guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Then I got one that my great grandfather played, and he was my grandpa Ray. He traveled around the nation with his dad, and they did like tent revivals and music and stuff. So I have his guitar, and I don't play that one very much. That's kind of like just a family heirloom thing. It's a steel string.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just have the 4. I mean, it's funny. It's like guns. You can only shoot one at once, or I guess 2. But
yeah,
it's like they're specific for like. It's hard with Brielle. I couldn't get rid of it because my dad got me that one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, son, the other couple weeks. He's like, son, I'll buy you a new guitar right now. Like, let's go. I like how that steel sounds. I'm like, no, hold on. Like, because it's not something you just go and buy. Like, you have to feel them out and all that. And I've played, I was just at Guitar Center. I played $3,000 Gibsons, and I'm not knocking anything, but sometimes there's some cheap stuff that you get lucky with and it sounds just as good and it doesn't break the bank. I mean, I think sometimes people pay a lot for a name or something when it's like buying $1,000 22 and a $300 one shoots just as fine, you know? Like, I don't know.
Now, is this Brielle, the one right there on this other picture?
No, that's Abby.
That's Abby.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a little Ibanez. What is this? Cutaway. What are you, girl? Oh, you know, the old GA35 TCE-DVS. Oh, it's model number.
Oh, that's Abby. Okay, I had him confused.
Yeah.
Brielle is the steel string.
Yeah.
This is the nylon
The
that you brought
Takamine.
here. This
It's
is
a jumbo.
Okay.
It's a EG523SC or something. Yeah.
I do remember my buddy tried to teach me how to play the guitar, and the first song I tried to learn was Free Fallin'.
Nice.
And it hurt I could not get past that. My fingers were sensitive, and I just couldn't get to the point of like trying to play enough where I would, maybe develop some good calluses or have some resistance to it. And I just kind of gave up because it hurt so bad.
Yeah, I get calluses now that are like, I mean, if you look at my fingertips, they're layers of dead skin, like spiral almost, like they feel like nails, like they'll cut you, like it.
Wow.
It's weird. But yeah, I remember, and I have these perpetual dents in my fingers now.
They just don't go away.
They don't go. They're the lines from the strings.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean,
you can wake up in the morning and they're still there.
Yeah.
The indentation.
Yeah. And then, but I mean, it just comes with the trade kind of thing.
So we'll talk about how you met Katie a little later, but so right now she's helping you book gigs.
Yeah.
You update your own website.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about actually, we could probably pull up your website.
Okay.
We might as well do that because I would like to look at your and kind of talk about the grind you're on, if you will, and the schedule you have coming up. Let me see. Upcoming gigs. Here we go. If my internet's working. Okay. So, yeah, this actually is kind of a running list from April 15th. So here we are getting into July. And that's cool. You had the interview on there. I like that.
Yeah.
July 27th, you're going to be at the Our Town podcast. So busy, the 2nd, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I mean, just about every day. How is that? Let's talk about right now finding the gigs, how you're getting the name out, how Katie is helping you with that process.
It is difficult because I'll say this. When I got married, I said, I'm done with music. I'm going to be normal, whatever that means, And
that was only within the last...
That was the year, like January.
January.
So I'm like, I was in Susanville, California at the Diamond Mountain Casino in my hometown. I'm like, this is it. This is my last gig. And now I'm getting a job doing renovation. And then I was working with John Chisholm. Appreciate the guy to death. He taught me so much and gave me a job, and it was a blast. I loved working with those guys, him and Mateo. And then I ended up, I wasn't making a lot because I was just an apprentice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, shoot, and we're paying for insurance now, like out of pocket and stuff. Like we have Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's kind of like this cost sharing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I need some money. So like I was just like, let me just go down and ask. And I went to Moe's, and they're like, yeah, we'll hire you. And the one night,
the barbecue place downtown.
Yeah, in Providence.
Okay. Yeah.
The Providence location.
Providence.
Yeah. The one night I made like more than half my check for the week. And so that's where I'm like, shoot, man, like I put so much time and effort into this. And that was one night. And then we just kind of started, and it was gnawing on me. And the whole time I'm so back and forth, like the James thing, like blown, like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Like, I'm just praying and praying and praying. And it just finally got to the point I was like, God, if you don't want me to do this, please just shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just close every door. Just kick me in the teeth, but do it so I don't. I know how stubborn I am.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. Like, I'm that way. I'm hard-headed. I don't admit things at times, and I need something like 10 times sometimes before I'll ingest it. But I'm like, you know how I am more than anyone. Please, like, if you don't want me to do this, just shut it down. But it kept going, and we kept getting gigs, we kept getting money just through, and I have to work hard at it. Like, it's not, I post the gigs that are like establishments, but like today I'm going down. I don't care if it's 90 degrees. I'm going downtown. And I'm going to go play because that's my job. But I need the money. We're not poor. We're not rich kind of thing. Like, Lord willing, we're closing on this property out near Youngtown outside of Moulton. But yeah, so if you could be praying for that, that'd be cool. But we're going to try and build a little something out there. But it's like a obligation to, like, I don't feel I need to be playing for people. That's it. Like, and I got that from Ozzy too. He was like, I don't care. Like, I'm just trying to get cleared medically so I need to be, he knows it's his job. And I'm reading Jerry Lee Lewis's book. He's like, there were times I'd cut my pay in half just to get the gig to keep working. There's times I was in Ohio one night, then New York, then Ohio again. And it doesn't matter. Like, it's, you need to be doing your job kind of thing. It's like, this isn't a game. Like, it's not, I'm trying to do this for, whatever, fame or money or something. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. And it's
how you're wired.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter. I'm a musician. That's what I do. So I write songs and I play music. And I should be doing that as much as possible. I have to force myself. It's fun having a job you love. Because when you have to force yourself to rest and you're sitting there like, man, I just want to keep, but you have to. Like, that's why I believe God gives the Sabbath too. It's like, you need to, and my wife will get on me too sometimes. She's like, when are you done working? I'm like,
never.
I'm done at 5. Like, and it's tough being an entrepreneur too, Yeah. I'm done at 5. And then, but you have to find that balance of when's enough. Like, it's more important for me to, at times, just watch a movie with my wife, watch Cougar Town with her, and just like hang out,
right,
or go on a walk, or go on a hike, or walk the dog around. Like,
what does she do? Does she work?
No, she works for me.
She works for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
you
she
guys
was
are doing
working at
together.
Just Love. Yeah, we were trying to do this whole, I'm gonna be the working guy, and you can stay home if you want. You know what I mean? When she's like, she doesn't like staying home. She likes doing stuff. So then she got a job at Just Love. I'm like, why don't we work part time? And like, she was cooking. She still cooks and cleans and does all that stuff. She's an angel. She's a huge blessing. And we're doing that. And then she's working her job and waking up real early and stuff. And I'm like, why don't you work for me? Like, because soon we're gonna be taking off here, and like, you don't have to ask for time.
Go on
like,
tour.
Yeah, come with me. You like music, you like traveling, you like eating at different places. Like, I love having you around. So let's just do this. And it's been fun,
So part of it is setting up. She's helping you set up kind of regular gigs at regular establishments.
Yeah,
around Huntsville, North Alabama.
Yes, sir. So our focus right now is, and it's always hard being into a new area and establishing yourself, because Wyoming, by the grace of God, I'm established in the sense, like, I can call bar owners and be like, hey, can I get a Saturday, August 18th? Sure. I've got you down. That simple. Because I was there for 3 years. I had my band there. I was playing out. Like, they knew me enough to where, like, now there's some spots here where they heard me play, and they're like, okay, let's get you November, December. And it's just, building that out now, just so you have your regular thing. And then now we're looking for 2024. You have to project. Like, that's something it took me a while to learn. I can't go into Voodoo downtown right now and be like, hey, can I play this Friday? No, they're booked out for 2 months.
Right.
Like, same thing with Green. Most of these places that you see constantly on Facebook or Huntsville Live Music or anything like that, they're booked out. Like, people know there's a lot of people playing music. And so when it took a minute, but absolutely God thing, he filled our schedule up. And then now we're calling places and they're like, oh, dude, we're booked out till September. Well, like, that's perfect. We're not back from Wyoming until September. So can we talk November, October if you can? So the farther you go, it seems that is better. So getting to that point. And then, we did have to bite the bullet a little bit. And I was playing a lot at Bridge Street, just on or downtown for Fridays and Saturdays, just to keep playing, because you never stop working on what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's
You need more
be
reps.
out. Yeah, and just sharpening songs. Like there's songs I play now where I'm like, it's like I'm not even playing it. Like mentally, I'm not even there, and I have to remember to be present. And like, because I can sit there and sing you a song, but then there's me like moving, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
look at the crowd. What's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah, you like Merle? Me too, man. Like,
There's
just,
a performance side.
yeah, and that's what I need to learn too. Because in the beginning too, I used to be didn't move, played the song, looked around, you know. But then rock and roll really helped me.
Yeah.
Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, those guys, they're big for a reason. They put on a show.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. It's energy, like it, and it's fun, and it's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
So learning to do that too, and then to get back on topic with it, the now for like 2024, we're trying to figure out what it's going to look like. So we need to start thinking about that now, even though it's so far out, because if we get too locked for things that we like, Lord willing, I want to go to Wyoming and do a Wyoming tour next year, the whole state, just little dives and restaurants and all that stuff. So we have to protect that time slot. So if people are like, hey, I want you for this festival, it's no. Like,
right.
And it sucks because you're like, oh, what if I don't get this opportunity? You have to.
You're creating a different opportunity.
Yeah, I'm trying to build something like we want to do an Alabama tour. I want to be Birmingham, Montgomery, Mobile, and then all the little towns in between. I want to bring music to places that don't usually get music. And because those people, I've been in LaBarge, Wyoming, small, most wonderful people. Little bar, the Eagle Bar. You ever go there? It's a good time. Just out in the high desert, man.
Yeah.
And those people, they wouldn't let me leave. I was like, all right, my sets are, you can't stop.
You can't
They're like,
stop.
yeah. We kept playing music, and they love it. And that's what it's about, bringing joy. Like Tommy Emmanuel said, because a lot of people in the music business, they love talk about the business side of it. I get it to an extent. I sacrifice my business more for, he's like, we're not in the music business, we're in the happiness business. And if I do my best to cater to the people within balance and means and stuff, and that's where my heart's at, the gigs come by the grace of God. Not saying I don't just sit and wait for people to call me kind of thing. No, we're still calling, and sometimes it's tenacity. Like we have to get 50 no's to get one maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's places, I mean, I'm calling the place. I'm messaging them on Instagram. I'm emailing them. I'm coming into the establishment trying to speak to the owner myself. Weeks, nothing. Finally catch them. Okay, we'll give you a shot. Play. When can we have you back?
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So it's just
the payoff.
honing your craft and just not it. You have to take no for an answer, but I will. And
again, it goes back.
It
goes back to what I was saying before. Don't take it personal.
Yeah,
they're just
But
busy.
until you tell me no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep coming at you. So it's like if I see you I'm messaging you and I see it seen, but you haven't said anything, I'm gonna message you again in a week.
Yeah.
Or try and come in and talk to you. So
you
I
didn't
just
say
want
no.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not me trying to. I'm just trying to, because I really do believe in my heart, by the grace of God, I put on a good show. And I think that's the huge thing too that I was thinking about on the way here is like, you have to believe in yourself and what you're doing, or no one else will, kind of thing. Like, you have to believe that you have something that's worth selling, the product. Like, people were like, your brand and your product. And I pushed all that away because I was just stubborn and stuff. It's like, I am the product. I am. Like, my show, my performance, how I play the songs, my own songs, like my own story and testimony. Like, I think there are people better than me. I absolutely understand that. But no one does it like me. There's only one Tim Knecht. I learned that from Charlie Daniels' book. Like, there's tons of people that can play my songs and stuff like that. There's only one me. And I'm not at all saying I'm the best or anything, but I am what I am, and I have my story, and I have my songs.